first QClash.
It is, yep. Yeah, first one. So the build-up's been pretty big so far. So it's a big game for both sides, obviously, and especially us going into the latter part of the season as well. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Have the boys always been mentioned throughout the week about positions on ladder doesn't mean anything for these games. It's a rivalry.
Yeah, and obviously you've seen what the Gold Coast guys have been saying in the media as well. It's an important game and something that obviously both sides are going to be pretty up for, and it's going to be pretty hot early, I imagine.
Do you feel like you've settled in, Marcus, after 5 games now?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I've sort of transitioned and got used to the way we move the ball and the way we defend as well as a group. So yeah, I'm starting to feel like I've found my feet and getting the feel of the group.
What was it like playing your old team last week? It's always a bit of a edgy one when you speak to players playing their old team for the first time.
Yeah, it was actually really weird. It was a weird sort of feeling. You don't know what to expect, who's going to say what or what might happen on the field. And you sort of, probably more so than even normal, you don't want to give an opportunity for those guys to get stuck into you, so you can be a little bit gun shy as well. But it was really enjoyable, and it was great to get the result we were after as well.
Yeah, especially guys like Hodge, and since you've been here.
Yeah, I think the way we prepare and analyse opposition and the game and the trends as a whole is pretty impressive. And I think even, like you speak of Hodgie at 36 or 37, but then you got Harris at 22, who's as good a student of the game as anyone I've come across as well. So I think everybody's always learning. Every player's constantly learning and trying to continue to grow and develop. And I definitely feel like I've picked up a few more new things since being here and continue to do so weekly.
What do you think about the depth at the club at the moment? It looks like the Newcastle team doing so well, and you've had a couple of games early.
Yeah, obviously the depth of our squad's pretty remarkable, and the way we've been able to field most guys most weeks as well. I think we've had 22 in the NEFL a couple of times, so it's been pretty impressive with our ability to manage injuries. But the results have been remarkable through both levels, so I think that shows pretty good depth, and there's guys who can come in and play roles if need be. So it's great for the club.
Obviously, when you came here, you saw potential in something that the Lions have that you wanted to be a part of. Did you expect the success to come so quickly this year, or like when you were looking at the list, when you were thinking about coming?
Yeah, obviously going through the trade period last year and speaking with Fags, Nobes and Dom quite extensively about the trends of the club and the way we're moving forward. It probably on paper it looked like it was feasible, and I think the fact is that it's sort of come pretty quick, but I did probably expect that at least in the next couple of years the club was heading in the right direction, and I think that's sort of on the back of a lot of the right things done off the field and the camaraderie of the group as well. So I guess it's probably a shock to a lot of people, but I think we just continue to go out and try and improve weekly, and as soon as you tread water in this competition you can get overtaken pretty quickly, so we just try to keep moving forward and getting better each week.
You've been part of a rise like this before, haven't you, with the Doggies?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody expected the Doggies to go quite so well in 2016, and it was a similar sort of thing in terms of just continuing to build each week and working together strongly week to week to try and make sure we continued to be the best version of ourselves we could. And that's, I think what we're doing here as well.
Do you see a similarity between that young dog side that maybe people didn't expect the most out of and the Lions this year?
Yeah, I do. I feel probably a similar sort of feel around the place. It was really enjoyable coming into work every day, and it's the same here. I love coming in every day, and on the day off is probably the most boring, least joyous day of the week, I guess. Like, I love coming in, and I think most of the guys are in the same boat, which makes for a pretty good environment and a great environment to work and get better as a group. So I think in that regard it's pretty similar, and I think a lot of clubs, everybody talks about surprise, but I think if you continue to work and do the right things day in, day out, then the results sort of come.
Is there any advice or anything you can bring from that experience in 2016 that sort of it did take you by surprise that this group can benefit from? Like, can you pass on anything, say, hey, watch out for this, or this is sort of finals? I don't know, anything that you can pass on?
Oh, there's probably bits and pieces, but I think Hodgie obviously was part of it in 2008 with the Hawks as well. So, and Charlie Cameron's had finals experience, played in obviously the 2017 grand final with Adelaide, and Lockie as well at Freo. So there's lots of bits of experience. So you've got to be careful, I think, not to probably tread on toes, because I think the guys we do so many right things. You don't want to sort of stick your nose in where it's not needed. So if something needs to be said, or there's something that's eerily similar, then I might chime in with something here and there. But for the most part, I try and let the guys sort of go about our business, and yeah, it seems to be working at this stage.
Oh, mate, when did you feel accepted and part of that group? You said there's a great camaraderie here. Was there a moment, or did someone take you under their wing, or how did they integrate you into the group?
Probably since arriving. Like obviously you saw, I didn't actually get into the playing footy until after the bye period, but I didn't feel as if I was an outlier within the group even throughout that time. So the whole time since arriving, the guys sort of constantly doing things together, and there's a lot of stuff we sort of do to try and, obviously everyone coming from other states, or a lot of people coming from other states, the guys work really hard to bring everyone together, and I think they did a good job early days with me. But once you start playing, that's probably when you really start to feel part of the group. And yeah, so it's obviously over the last couple of months, I've felt the most comfortable I have.
When you were at the Dogs, and obviously they were so young when they won that premiership, and a lot of people would have, going into that final, said, oh, they're too young, this isn't their year yet. And maybe people are thinking the same thing about the Lions, is that it's a growth year. Internally, is there a lot of talk about, doesn't matter how old we are, we can win it this year, we're right at the top, we're a true contender?
I think everybody believes. I think there's probably 11 sides that can make the finals still, and everybody who's in with that shot probably believes that they're a chance. But we're not sort of looking to that extent. We just sort of keep on working week in, week out, and we sort of started on Tuesday previewing Gold Coast, and then we'll review that and go into the next week. Like, seems a pretty boring thing to say, but it's very true in terms of we don't look too far ahead. We just want to keep getting better and better week in, week out.
Is that, having that process, does that stop any complacency in the group? Like, you're playing the Suns, but the preparation stays the same. You approach every game the same. Is that?
Yeah, I think a lot of the guys have obviously been around through the tough times that the club's had, and I think everybody sort of can see how quickly the game can go past you. If you take your foot off the pedal just for a second, it can get past you pretty quick. So there's definitely no complacency within the group, and yeah, I don't think it matters who we come up against week in, week out. You're going to get a tough challenge in the AFL, and we know that, and we want to bring our best every week.
Expecting Zorks to play?
He trained this morning, so we'll see how he pulled up from that, and fingers crossed, because he's a pretty handy inclusion, I would say.
What's he bring?
Just the energy on and off the field. He's just a ball of energy, and he really sets the standard for us, gets us going, and his ability, his pressure acts that you see week in, week out, but also what he does with the ball, and his ability to run both ways as well. He's a remarkable teammate, and someone you love having on your side.
Flip side, if you missed that.
Well, I think, yeah, we touched on, obviously you're going to be missing a great player. I think you'd be well and truly in contention for All-Australian, I would say, based on what he's done this year. So you're going to be missing a pretty handy player if he's out, but we spoke about the depth of the Neefel earlier, and next man in will have to try and fill his role and do that job. So we're confident that what we've got available at Neefel level, someone will be able to come in and fill his role.